Okay, Lulu and the Brontosaurus. This is the last part, chapter 13. It wasn't too much later that Lulu could see that she was nearly out of the forest. She was happy that soon she would be with her mom and her dad. But along with the happy feeling, she was also feeling sad because when she thought of the Brontosaurus she left behind, as a matter of fact, she pictured the poor lonely dinosaur so clearly in her mind it almost seemed as if he was standing there just outside the forest waiting for her. And he was. So there's the picture of the forest. And there waiting for her is the Brontosaurus. Look at this little bat. Isn't he cute? Well, Lulu was shocked. Was Lulu shocked? You bet. What? She asked, are you doing here, Mr. B? I found a shortcut, the Brontosaurus replied. Lulu smiled a soft, sweet smile, then shook her head and sighed. And then she said, and even though I'm the person writing the story, I truly don't know why she said it in rhyme. Please try to understand, Mr. B, that I cannot be your pet, even though you're the nicest Brontosaurus I ever met. And if you take me away with you, I'll keep on running back every chance that I get. Not a bad rhyme, though. The last line's a little lumpy. I already figured that out when I was waiting for you, the Brontosaurus told Lulu. I do understand that you can't be my pet, but please understand that I can't be your pet either. Well, Lulu understood, and the Brontosaurus understood. It seemed there was only one thing left to do, so there they stood, quietly looking at each other for a moment, and then they did it. The Brontosaurus bent his long neck till his face was close to Lulu's. He kissed her gently on the cheek and said, Happy birthday, little pet, and goodbye. Lulu put her arms around the Brontosaurus's neck. She kissed him gently on the nose and said, Don't be too lonely, Mr. B, and goodbye. And there they are. Then she slowly walked down the road that would take her home, and he slowly walked down the road that would take him home. And although Lulu and the Brontosaurus remembered each other forever, they never saw each other again. The maybe end? Chapter 13 again. Wait, I'm not really sure about this ending. It may be a little too mushy, a little too sad. But since I'm the person writing the story, I'm writing another ending, and you can decide which one you'd rather have. Well, Lulu understood the Brontosaurus, and the Brontosaurus understood that neither of them could be the other's pet. But why should that mean that they had to say goodbye? Come with me, and I'll give you a piece of my birthday cake, said Lulu. I'd like that, the Brontosaurus said. May I give you a ride? And Lulu arrived at her house, riding happily on the back of the Brontosaurus. When her mom and her dad heard the noise of a dinosaur clomping into their yard, they remembered Lulu, and they'd remembered her birthday. Luckily for all, her cake had already been made. Don't worry, he isn't my pet, Lulu said. He's only going to stay for a piece of cake and a glass of lemonade. But he's kind of a lonely guy, and I would like to invite him back for Thanksgiving dinner. And there's her mom and her dad way down there. From that time on, the Brontosaurus came to Lulu's house for her birthday, Thanksgiving, and the 4th of July. And sometimes she visited his house, though. She didn't like eating leaves. She always brought a suitcase of pickle sandwiches. On one very special birthday, she not only invited her friend Brontosaurus, but also the snake and the tiger and the bear. And the Brontosaurus noticed that whenever Lulu asked anyone for anything, she always said please. The end. Maybe? Chapter 13, yet again. I'm still not totally satisfied. I'm going to try once more because I think I need to answer certain questions like, were Lulu's mom and her dad worried sick when she didn't come home that night? Had they bought her a present for her birthday? Did she completely stop being a pain and turn into polite? And how did all that stuff fit into her suitcase? I'm going to answer these questions, and when I'm done, you will have your choice of 3 different endings. So here are the answers to those questions. Well, Lulu understood that the Brontosaurus understood that, though they couldn't be pets, they could be friends. So Lulu invited the Brontosaurus back to her house for some birthday cake and introduced him to her mom and her dad. They hadn't been waiting and worrying and wondering because they had fallen asleep sipping their tea, and they didn't open their eyes until the Brontosaurus, with Lulu riding on his back, came clomp, clomp, clomping into the front yard. They gave her a silver necklace for her birthday, and she sang them a whole new Brontosaurus song. I didn't get a Brontosaurus for a pet. I didn't get a Brontosaurus for a pet. It sure looks like you brought one home, Lulu's mom said to Lulu. And we still have to say no because you can't have one, said her dad. And both of them waited for Lulu to screech and throw herself down on the floor and kick her heels and wave her arms in the air. Except that she didn't. What happened to the screeching? Asked her quite astonished mom. And her dad asked, What about throwing yourself on the floor? Lulu replied, very dignified, I am 1 year older today, and I'm not doing that kid stuff anymore. And she says, a very nice please, says the Brontosaurus. There's Lulu. Do you think she learned how to be polite? After cake and the lemonade, the dinosaur said goodbye, but he would return for many holiday visits. Sometimes the snake and the tiger and the bear came too. Although she kept getting older, Lulu never turned into the perfect. She still, though less and less often, sometimes screeched and forgot about please, though she never again in her life said foo on you. But she mainly wasn't in pain, and the Brontosaurus was mainly not lonely anymore. And how all that stuff fit into Lulu's suitcase, I'm sorry to say that I don't have a clue. I'm just the person writing the story after all. And there's her little suitcase. The end. That's it. I hope you liked it.